Here to tell you about the Phrase That Pays weekend coming up this weekend with release 18 of Shrouded Avatar. NBNN is giving away $100 in gift coins for Shrouded Avatar. There are two ways to win. First, be listening to NBNN News, Avatar's Radio, or Ether Vision starting Friday for the Phrase That Pays on Saturday. When you hear us say to call in during one of our live broadcasts on Saturday or Sunday, be the ninth caller to NBNN with the Phrase That Pays, and you will win $20 in Shrouded Avatar's gift coins. Second way to win, like us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, follow us on Twitch. Check out all the links that we have on nbnn.info. And every time you like us or follow one of our pages, you will be given one entry into the final raffle for the last $20 gift certificate ending midnight on Sunday, New Britannia time. Follow NBNN Radio and Ether Vision for the Phrase That Pays coming up this weekend, R18. Also a reminder, we have an interview with Duke Violation Friday. So stay tuned to NBNN for more information. This is Laz. Thanks. And greetings, folks. This is Laz with NBNN, and we're here live with Duke Violation. Duke, how you doing today?
Really good, Laz. How are you?
I'm doing good. First off, I'd like to congratulate you on the addition of our latest player-owned town, the second player-owned town in Shrouded Avatar.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's very, very nice to see these towns coming online, especially all the different types we're having.
Yeah, I think it really actually helps add to one of the things that makes me like this game so much. It's able to be player-driven just as much as dev-driven.
Yes, absolutely. So today we're here to talk about you, talk about what you're doing, talk about the town, talk a little about your guild, all sorts of fun stuff. So why don't you start with telling us a little about Duke Violation, the person behind the character. Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, my name's Joe. A lot of people like to know people's names, so I'm Joe. Tough name. I'm a husband, and I'm a father of 4. And my wife, for her graduation, I gave her World of Warcraft. My wife was not a gamer before she got together with me, and I turned her into a mild gamer. She likes to quest and play more by herself, so I think she's going to be a friend's place single player online type person. My kids all are a big part of that because me, it's the biggest pastime I've had since I was a kid is playing video games. So I've been playing on Atari, Nintendo, all the way up to getting into PC games with UO.
You grew up with a joystick in your hand.
That's it.
Amen to that. Yeah, gotta love it when I run into people like yourself who have the family thing going on with the gaming, because gaming is sometimes misinterpreted. It gets a bad rap when I see it can be really a great thing for families to do together, especially in this kind of game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's all about doing things with balance, right? I mean, if the only thing you're doing is playing video games, then your life is going to be a little bit out of balance. But on the same token, if you don't play them at all, you're missing out on something great.
Yeah, well, the good thing about something like this is the creator, of course, Richard Garriott, Lord British, has a set of virtues that one should live by, and it teaches values as well as just it's a lot different from the shoot 'em up zombie type games that you see out there that people are all attracted to.
Only when they're winning. If you lose to the zombies, you're not so attracted.
That's right. If you lose, they've won and they get your brains, right?
That's it.
So tell us about Duke Violation, the character here now. Is how did you come up with the name? How did you come up with the character? Does the character's history? Tell us a little about this here.
All right. Well, I've always been a gimmick guy, and I like social gaming. And the gimmick that I would run off of is acronyms or things that sound like something else. I played a character named Cloth in Ultima Online, but it was spelled Klauth, and wore robes all the time. When I was in World of Warcraft, I picked a name that was restricted because they said it had dude speak. I didn't know what that was at the time, but it means you use letters instead of words.
Dude, leet
Um,
speak.
and that they didn't call it leet speak; they called it dude speak. They said leet speak has numbers in it, and dude speak does not. Because I like threw a hissy fit like any natural PvPer would when they're told they have to change their name that they like. So anyway, I did what any rebellious PvP gamer would do, and I went down the list of words that were on my screen until I got to one that stuck, and it happened really quick because the first words on my screen is your name is in violation of our terms of service. So
Oh,
how did
that's
I
too
get the name
funny.
violation was off of breaking terms of service with Blizzard. I changed my gamer advisory panel, Sony Underground, my Xbox, my PC handles, everything over to it because I thought it was a clever name.
Oh, that is a clever name when you look at it that way. You're in
Yes.
violation of the terms of service. That is classic, actually.
Yeah, so that's how I got the name. And background on my character. Um, so I'm playing a merchant farmer, and a lot of people will never get that from me because it's much past the days where I was able to farm and trade wares, and I still love to do it, and I still will do it at times. But the reality is, every farmer gets killed and every merchant gets robbed. And I just got killed one too many times. So now I kill the people who kill the merchants and farmers. So I've basically graduated from farming resources to farming bad people. And I try to collect as many people who will join me on a path of virtue to ridding the world of those who would do wrong as aggressively and uh, let's just say effectively as possible.
Right, right. Now that's something else that I have, for us here, about the guild, and what it does and how that came about. Now you just explained that, and something I was curious about was, how does the name violation and of course the word vengeance come into I'm told is an anti-PK guild? Is that correct?
Oh, it's so many things. Yeah. We have a lot of people that aren't PvP at all in the guild. So Order of Vengeance is like a group of people that are going to live here, and we basically want to live in an open environment. PvP is going to be part of the game that we play. That doesn't mean that we have PvP. So we have people in the guild that will never PvP. We have people that will play single player only and chat with us because they're friends. So um, there's the guild in and of itself is best represented by our town guards, just because they get the most publicity. And the town guards are the PK hunters, which is commonly referred to as anti-PK. The only difference between a PK hunter and an anti-PK is the anti-PK will stop when they feel like the threat is done. A PK hunter is going to kill you whether or not they feel like the threat is done or not.
Over and
So
over and
you
over.
PK'd, we PK you.
I see, I see. So there is actual rhyme and reason behind all that. Um, Even though sometimes people look at the names and go, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so the name Order of Vengeance was actually voted on by a group of about 12 to 15 of us, and it was a group of us that we've been playing together for a while, and we had a lot of different options to go with, and um, Brothers of Chaos, Brothers of Malice, Band of Brothers, and Order of Chaos and Order of Vengeance, I believe, were the final names that were voted on, and it was decided to be Order of Vengeance.
Alrighty, alrighty. That's a lot of information I'm sure that the people are curious about out there, especially myself. Is a lot of information. I talk to you quite often, but we've haven't had a chance to go into this kind of detail till now.
Yeah, a lot of people don't ask, and I think that's I'm willing to discuss things with people, and I think this is the best way to get the information out is through a media outlet where I can tell you and you tell 10,000 people.
Right, right, right. Now, your guild, the Order of Vengeance. Aside from doing that, is there a focus that you guys have for the game when we go live? Are you guys going to be?
We're gonna play the game and have fun. Our focus, it's gonna be play the game and have fun, and the reality is we see the guild as a family, and like I said, there's a lot of different moving parts to that family. And the way that we're going to recruit and grow is by bringing new family in. And we're not going to be out there on the corner of your town saying, come join our guild. We don't plan on being the biggest. We don't plan on being the strongest. We plan on being very close knit and very enjoyable, have fun at the game. So our focus is going to be very internalized. And the social gamers, like myself, you're going to find that we're going to run a lot of events and stuff, and that's where the public comes in and their interest in Order of Vengeance and the Town of Vengeance is coming to our events.
Right. Okay. Now, what about working with other guilds? What about the work that you've done already with the other guilds in the game, and the future of things like that, social events, PvP events of the like?
Yeah, so I actually am not writing that into our history right now. I actually have a couple of quests, and right now you can get up to 3 of the Vengeance quests out of me in Release 18. I might introduce 1 or 2 more by Release 20. But I'm going to have about 15 Vengeance quests, and I'm going to probably be personally handling 5 to 10 of those.
Very
And
nice. Very nice.
the uh, the quests right now are all being written without any of the other guilds or towns involved. The reason we do that is because we're still in pre-alpha, and a lot of games fluctuate a lot, and membership fluctuates. We've had half dozen members join and leave over the last 6 months, and that just happens a lot more during pre-alpha testing.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we're definitely going to work with other people, and we're definitely going to do that. But right now, we look at this as everybody is our friend because everybody's working toward the same goal. Let's test this game and make it the best thing it could be.
And just make
So
make everything happen. That's right.
yeah, we don't have any enemies until the um, the person that wants to harm the game or the success of the game shows up, and then they have a lot of enemies.
Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah, a couple things now. Um, you just got the town. Vengeance was introduced into the game yesterday, and we were out there yesterday when Lord British came out. Now, first question I have for you is, why a PvP town? I know that we're supposed to have the ability to flag it and unflag it eventually, but why did you choose to go with a PvP town right off the bat?
Yeah, so let me actually start with addressing that rumor. The flagging and unflagging of towns is a rumor, and I've actually verified with Star multiple times that that is not in the design plan. If you pick to have a PvP town during your design session, it will likely stay that way permanently.
Well, that is
They
good news.
do not have a desire to allow people to turn it on and off because of all the edge cases of grief that can occur.
I
I'll
got you.
go over some of the changes about PvP towns after we answer that other question about why PvP. Because I want to be able to play the game the way that I want to play it, right? So this is a
Makes
video game for
sense.
me to enjoy and have fun, and I've got a lot of different people that have made relationships with each other over many years. Some of us played UO together, and we still game together in other games. And if I don't have PvP in my town, then my PvPers won't be happy. So um,
Absolutely, absolutely.
this is part of the experience. This is part of the game. So why did I go with a PvP town? Because I didn't want to take something away from the people that wanted it.
That makes sense. Now,
Oh,
yesterday, yeah, go ahead.
did you want me to go into some of the differences since I just kind of released that bombshell that you can't change PvP? Do you want me to explain some of the differences?
Well, definitely is that's going to be news for people to hear later on when this rebroadcast as well, and stuff that's going to matter when it comes down to making that choice whether you're going to go with a PvP town or not. So definitely, let's go ahead and elaborate on that.
All right, so for starters, PvP towns, you can kick people from lots. That's been a question that people have asked. Yes, I am able to evict you from a lot. Besides that, there's basically nothing else I can do to you. I can't mute you. I can't ban you. I can't tell you that you come on my lot. I can't have private lots or restrict lots. I can't ban you from my lot. No town member on their lot can ban you either. So the entire town ban feature and localized housing ban feature and the restricted features are both out the window. So once you come into a PvP town, it is everywhere is PvP, or you can have the player select feature. And that's what I think more people from reading the feedback that I get from people, that's what I think that more people are going to want without realizing it. A lot of people want to be able to control when they PvP and when they don't. And
Yeah, I've
that's
read that in the
not the
forums.
idea of the PvP town. The idea is it's either it's there or it's not.
And yeah, the idea of having weekend chaos and then during the rest of the week you don't want to be bothered with it just doesn't get into the immersive end of the game, as we call it.
Yeah,
Either
exactly.
either you're walking into a PvP zone or you're not. It's not like it was a PvZ. Yeah, testing 1 2 3. Not like it was a PvP zone last night and today it's safe to walk in there. That just doesn't make any sense realistically.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday, as I heard, because of a PvP area you were in, a couple of things happened. I heard you telling a story last night um, of something you pulled on Lord British. And then, of course, I was told also there was an assassination attempt on Lord British's life yesterday, actually, while he was out there in the town.
Yeah. Fortunately, his skills and hard coded programming paid off.
Of course, of course.
um, and yes, there definitely were several assassination attempts against him, and I think everybody was waiting outside of the Oracle while he did one of the quests here. I encourage people to flag for PvP, and I don't want to go into too much detail over it, but I think the crowd was bigger on the edge of the stairs than anywhere else, and I saw probably about 6 or 7 people with their weapons out, populating their decks, ready to go, hoping that he was going to disable his invulnerability. And it was really funny because he says, well, we're not going to test that today, and then you see like 3 or 4 people sheath their weapons. Aw.
Oh, that's too funny. Now, there has been a buzz about, in the grapevine that they're actually working on a way for him to be able to become vulnerable and not be as invulnerable as he is at this point. But that is just
Yeah,
rumor mill
I
right now.
actually I have some direct influence on that, I think.
Now, that was the
When I was
story
out
I
there,
thought I heard you telling yesterday. You pulled something on him that made him uh, basically vulnerable, was it?
no, that's I'm trying to talk them into, and he really liked it when he talked with me about it. He had his own ideas as well. But I'm trying to talk him into getting royal guards and have his power divide across his royal guards as they go next to him. So if his entire royal court is near him, then he only gets maybe a 10% damage reduction because the other 10% is split across the 9 other people.
Interesting.
So then if you were to attack him, he would feel almost like a little bit of a heavy armor wearing regular avatar. And it would be up to his guards to make the difference in the battle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and as they walk away from proximity, their power buff would get redivided amongst the group that's there. So he would become killable, but it would still be a task. And the testing that when I was out there for the Duke and Lord of the Manor event, the testing that we talked about was making it to where he couldn't drop below 1 health point and turn that system on and then see how often does he drop below 20 hit points.
Gotcha.
So if you hard code it to where he actually can lose health but can't go below 1 health point, it's a good way to be able to balance the rest of the system out. And that's in the works. That's something that he is definitely willing to talk about and do, and it'll be a lot of fun for those of us that are player guards.
That sounds like it could be quite the interesting adventuring that way.
Go out with Lord British to kill a dragon, have 45 people show up to kill Lord British.
Well, they say that in every game he's ever written, that there is a way to actually kill Lord British. I have not done so, in all those games, so that I can't attest to personally.
I think the spoiler here, cover your ears if you don't like spoilers, Stable Boy and Alfred might know something about that.
Now, do we have a spoiler coming, or was that the spoiler?
The Stable Boy and Alfred knows something about it was the comment of the spoiler.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever done that, but you can talk to him about killing Lord British, and he's got a whole monologue he goes into.
Did not know that one. We'll have to go check that out later on today. Now, let's get into some more in-depth stuff about you. Duke Violation is not just a town owner. He's not just a character. You do a lot of other things here with Shrouded Avatar. Everything from, of course, the Avatar's Circle. And now Avatar's Circle, Avatar's Portal, the Soda Wiki, they're all tied together, correct?
Used to be. So Avatar Circle was a framework I was building to support other fan sites, and SodaWiki and Portal were hosted on that. And my goal was to make it easier for anybody that wanted a fan site to get one. And until about a month and a half ago, we had hosted for free the radio site for avatarsradio.com.
Right.
They got some new web designers in and just moved hosting here recently. But the idea is the new Britannia Press, hopefully the upcoming Pax Slayer site, my orderofvengeance.com site, they all go on this framework Avatar Circle. So that's why Avatar Circle is connected to other things. But SodaWiki got moved off because of load. SodaWiki gets between visitors, not editors. We get probably about 2 to 3 times this if you add the editors in. But for non-logged in visitors, they get between 10 and 50,000 page loads a day, I would say.
Wow.
So balancing that with the other sites, I felt like it'd be better to get that into its own dedicated server. When I started looking into the costs, I figured, hey, I gotta talk with somebody else that has one. And I actually ended up talking with the guys over at Ultima Codex. So if you guys don't know, Ultima Codex has basically all the Ultima wikis and the UO wiki. UO Guide and Ultima Codex were the 2 UO wikis that I personally used. So they're a long-standing site that's been around and supported the Ultima community for a long time. So I actually gave the entire database over to them off of a cross of fingers that they're nice guys.
Well, the community in general, and especially those guys, we know they have a reputation for many years out there, so I think you'd be in good hands there.
Yeah, that happened a year ago, and they haven't kicked me out because
There you
it's
go.
still a baby of mine. I still do love it to death, and I have new ideas with it and things I want to work on. The crafting box, I'm actually trying to visualize a new change to the crafting box to hybrid the two together. Um, and anyway, long story short is that's the only reason why SodaWiki isn't hosted there. It gets a lot of visitors. It's getting every other fan site that I know of put together still doesn't hit what the wiki gets a day. Is the load traffic I would recommend thinking it under. So, but yeah, Avatar's Portal was actually kind of a dream of how do we get the community together? That one was I wanted to have a place where we could get everybody's updates on what they're doing and what they're working on in one feed, so we could all import that feed to our other sites. And when I started doing that, I realized the number one thing that people needed was an actual database of where these fan sites are and what they are. So the portal became that portal page. That the only purpose of Avatar's portal is to send you to another website.
It's basically the central hub for all the fan pages, all the news pages that are
Exactly.
all related to the Shrouded Avatar community, so that everybody can just come centrally to find information.
Correct. So it's got this link off to these other pages, and it's got this unified post that all those page owners are able to post updates about their sites to a feed, and then that feed gets collected by other things like the community app, for example, and Soda RP website. And there's I think I found it a dozen different places now that they pull this feed. So
Well, that's pretty amazing. Now, you just mentioned the community app, something we always like to touch on here. Materio's done a really great job with what is the name of his app? I always lose the name.
I just call it the community app.
Well, there's two of them now. There's his, and then there's the other one, which
The other
is
one's called the companion app, isn't
the
it?
companion app. Right? Okay, gotcha. That's right. Um,
I actually have both on my phone because I've been playing around and testing both of them for them.
yeah, as
But
do I. As do I.
yeah, I think that the what I really like about these apps is that it gets us connected to what's going on when we're not right in front of our computers. And that's what a lot of people are trying to replicate what's already been done over and over again. And I think these apps are trying to do something that isn't yet done for the game, which is giving us all this stuff mobile.
Correct. And now you've also done a little work with Materio for the calendar. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Um,
Um,
you're
I
working
wouldn't
with.
claim any real work here. Basically, I made a snippet. So I took all of my code for the calendar and I loaded it into a script. So every time I update the calendar, it'll automatically update on his app. But that works for anybody, and it doesn't put any extra workload on me. So you can essentially call a frame for the code, and he's calling that include on his app. So as we add and remove calendars and update things, he doesn't have to go back in and put an update into his app.
Right, right. Because I had spoken to him about that early on in the development, and I was like, "So what happens every time we add a new calendar to?" He's like, "Yeah, I have to go back and recode that." So, in essence, yeah, I mean, you weren't really hand in hand, but what you did help enhance the app for when it gets updated, so everybody isn't running crazy.
Yeah, I will accept that I helped
Yeah, I
make
mean,
updates a little bit smoother, but
it made it
I
so
I
that he
wouldn't.
didn't have to go every time somebody came to you and said, "Hey, I want my calendar here." Before the snippet, Matt would have to go back and he would have to update the code to accept the new calendar.
Correct, correct.
Yeah, so it's the
I
community
just
working with the
I'm
community.
very timid about putting my name anywhere near that app
No,
because
no,
I
no.
really didn't do anything for it. He's done
Yeah,
such. There's like four guys I think that have worked on it. Umbre is one of them, I think. Anyway, I talk with Materia more than any of the others.
yeah. Matt's a regular. He gets around. He gets out to just about all the events that I go to. I see him at. And of course, he
because
hops around the team
he's
speaks.
campaigning to take Lord British's place as King of New Britannia. I swear he is.
I don't know if he gets enough likes on his app, he might have votes in the world, and that's something to explore altogether. The role play of somebody actually taking over um, as a world leader inside the game. I don't think anybody's really approached that yet. But that's
uh,
stuff for future.
you should see him in the forums. He's got his foot in both sides of every fence, and he's doing the job he needs to do to get liked by everybody. So
That's funny.
you never know it. We might be saying Lord Materio here pretty soon.
Okay, and then of course Avatar Circle. Um, we didn't really cover that. We know what the portal is. We know what the wiki is. Now the wiki, real quick. Of course, that's just like any other wiki. People who have pertinent information or know of updates that haven't been posted there, they can just go there and update the wiki like just about any other wiki out there. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, SodaWiki is a little unique in two methods. First, we have a community namespace that you can put stuff in that is not actual lore. So all those player towns, all those player quests, all the stuff that it's not really official canon or whatever. It's still a big part of the game. We're a heavy community game, so we made the decision early on to include that into the wiki, but we also wanted to take it out of the main quest line of things because all of that information isn't really um, wiki type information. So while you're on the wiki, if you are to query the community namespace, you'll get all the community stuff that's been added, and there's a lot. And that's where you go to add the stuff that is not kind of done by the producers of the games. Another thing that we are doing is we're trying to utilize Symantec Media Wiki to allow everybody to get information out of us very easily. So I'm a big fan of not repeating things 10 times over. And instead of having
Absolutely.
everybody reinvent the same wheel over and over and over again, you're able to get the information off our wiki for a lot of stuff. And that includes a lot of crafting sites exporting our recipes. And you can export by recipe type, by the crafting stage it goes on, by the tool that it uses. You can export towns by their location continent, by their location coordinates, by their owner. You can get lots of information that you can query down and export that out in an HTML table. You can put it out in a CSV spreadsheet, all kinds of stuff. So those are two kind of unique things that most gaming wikis don't do. But yeah, but by the way, the everything else, it is still there. Anybody, we strongly encourage that visits the wiki. Take the time to update it. If you see something that's out of date, we actually Fenix, he's a mastermind with wikis. Fenix actually just thought of this brilliant thing where a lot of people are like, "Hey, this recipe isn't working anymore." They change the recipes a lot, and
Yes,
we
they
have
do. Release to release, they do
more.
that.
Yeah, we have more recipes than anybody else, 2 to 10 to 1. We've got a lot of recipes on the wiki. We've got a lot of people that contribute. The problem is going back through and retesting those over and over again. After about 15-ish releases of doing that, it starts to get really frustrating. And some of our people that were doing that for the first 5 releases have really slowed down and gotten on the every 4 or 5 releases I'll go in and update all these.
Right,
So
right.
what we did is we added a last scene variable that if you look on the recipe, it will actually tell you the last time that one of the wiki editors updated that recipe. And we would ask that any time that you verify a recipe works and the correct recipe is on the wiki, you can update that last scene and just type the number of the release. That's all you got to do. Is you just put in, if it's release 18, you just put in last scene equals 18.
Gotcha,
And
gotcha.
yeah, so that's just a way that we're going to look at easily querying our outdated recipes that we need to test and easily querying our updated ones that have already been tested. So
Well,
oh
that sounds like you make it a lot easier than normal, so they don't have to edit a whole paragraph of stuff. They can just say, "Hey, this is
yeah,
verified."
yeah, exactly. We're trying to go for a lot of template based stuff. make everybody's lives easier that are not big wiki editors. And another thing a lot of people don't know is you can actually query the wiki from inside the game. You can type
Yes, that's
/sodawiki.
right. That is right.
Yeah, you can type /sodawiki and anything you want to search, and it'll pop up in a web browser. So any of you on laptops with only one monitor, I've heard some complaints about the web browsers minimizing your game. Um, that's the only thing I would mention there. But everybody else has given really good feedback on that.
Alrighty. Now, real quickly, you said you wanted to touch on somebody who's been doing a little work around here for you. You want to
Yeah,
tell us about that and give us a little peek at what we're talking about?
absolutely. I was hoping they would stop by during the interview sometime and be like, "Is it over?" And I'd slide it in then. But it looks like they're not going to make it. So the house that we're in now, my birthday bash house way back when, 4B tournament grounds, 4B beach lot, the decorated rooms inside of the mazes, the basement type rooms, Kazan's After Dark bar, furniture shop after furniture shop after furniture shop, almost every release in white. We've had a decorator that has taken care of the beautification process of a lot of properties, more than what I just named, probably double what I just named. But anyway, a lot of properties in New Britannia, and that's Galus. And I want to show a bit of gratitude and give a shout out to what a better experience it is to not sit in an empty room and one that actually looks nice. So sitting here at a bar on a bar stool with a drink behind me is a lot more fun than sitting on a chair outside in the grass, which is what this would have looked like otherwise.
or sitting in the grass directly, just sitting on your butt with nothing to. Yeah, absolutely. I just took a little.
I think that would have been a possibility, but I probably would have got a chair for us.
There you go. I just took a little tour around the room just to show everybody what the room looks like here and what's been done with it. And this is a very, very big open space you have here.
Yeah, I was able to give a little bit of input here. Always willing to take input. And I was able to give a little bit of input here, but this room I actually gave zero input on, and I walked into it. I'm like, don't change a thing. Love it. So yeah, I really like it, and this is just it's really well done. It's exactly my house doesn't have anything in the middle of rooms. Some people decorate that way, but my house doesn't have anything in the middle of rooms. That's how I decorate on Earth.
Yeah, it gives you a nice wide open feel and allows people to move about easy.
My house doesn't have anything. Some people decorate that way, but my house doesn't have anything in the middle of rooms. So yeah, that was what I was looking to throw out there. Oh, Sean Silverfoot's row house in Paxlayer was another one that they did. So, anyhow,
All right, just had a little technical glitch there. I had to fix that real quick. Now, yeah, before we start wrapping things up here is events. We've got a lot of events going on today. I'm just going to touch on a couple. Of course, this interview is happening live now. Um, right after this interview, we're going to be going right over to the Release 18 Fire Lotus party. Happens every Friday after a release. We all get together and Fire Lotus spins some tunes, and we all gather and dance with joy that they didn't break it this time.
but we had that party last release.
Well, we have it every release.
But combat. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, keep going.
Well, speaking of combat, we have actually a new event starting today. Is going to be called the Battle Arena. That's going to be happening right after the Fire Lotus event.
Did you have the rest of the day of events?
I've got them in front of me here. That's what I'm looking at. As there's the Fire Lotus event. Of course, we have the No Host Breakfast Club, Sydney, Australia, coming up.
Lazarus?
Yes. I'm sorry, I hit a button there in the wrong place.
Oh, no worries. Were
I,
you going to keep going on the rest of the events for the day, or
I,
what's
I,
the?
I actually was rambling on about them there, so I'm going to have to go back and repeat them so that I can get some commentary for you. Where did I leave you when I had this little glitch? We're talking
All,
about the
all I
events.
heard was Fire Lotus's release party. I didn't hear anything after that.
Anyway, starting today off with, of course, this interview. Then we roll right after this into the Fire Lotus release party, where Fire Lotus, of course, spins the tunes, and we go out and enjoy the new release and celebrate the fact that it's not broken and have a good time there. We have a no host event, the Breakfast Club, Sydney, Australia. People getting together out in Paxlayer. This happens 3 times a day from 3 different time zones. What else is coming up? We got NBNN Academy working hours at 4:30. Oh, the Battle Arena. I'm sorry. The Battle Arena is a new event starting today in Owl's Head. It's hosted by Harry Underwood of the BMC. This is a really tight and closed arena. It's going to be a PvP event. And of course, then later on in the day, 6 p.m., it's now called Vengeance Madness. Is this the renaming of Shardfall Madness? Is that correct?
It's the same event, but I've talked to a lot of the different PvP event hosts, and a lot of them have moved their events into Vengeance, so we can kind of stress test the player town PvP zone.
And then what else do we
So
have on the
that's still
tab?
Bambino, and that's still the same event. It's just in Vengeance
It's
instead of
just
in one of the
happening in
Shardfalls.
Vengeance instead of the Shardfalls now, which is great. They're making use of the player owned town PvP zone, which is very nice. What else we got coming up tonight after that? We have the Novian Academy. Role play courses also at 6 p.m. I think there's going to be a bunch more people at Vengeance Madness than at the Academy, unfortunately. At least on release weekend here. And then BMC's got a beach party tonight at 9 p.m. Now, do you guys have any other events for OOV and the Town of Vengeance that you have planned coming for this weekend?
I actually am filler event running, so I am gonna leave all of my events to fill in the dead space when people stand around going, "This is boring." I'm gonna run something on the fly. My events will start on Monday. Actually, I do have. Before I say that, I do have one event that I'm hosting, I believe, on Saturday. There were no PvP tournaments on the calendar for Saturday, so
Yeah, Saturday is no, that's Sunday.
is it Sunday that I'm doing it? One of the days on the calendar there were no PvP events, so I threw a tournament on there every week.
No, I was thinking of the Gridiron. The Gridiron is on Sundays.
Yeah, correct.
And I'm
Yep,
looking
I
down
wanted to
here.
see a PvP tournament 7 days a week, and I want to see an event in Vengeance 7 days a week. So any day that didn't have one, I put a PvP event on, and if there's other stuff going on everywhere else, we're gonna have something else going on here, type stuff.
Alrighty. So we're going to have lots of good stuff coming up out of the player-owned town, the latest player-owned town, Vengeance, owned by Duke Violation here. And expect to see them doing all sorts of stuff aside from that. You'll be seeing these people, you'll be hearing them. And for you PvPers out there, get ready. It's a whole new world out there now. And then anything else do we need to cover here? Anything that I didn't touch on that you'd like to get out there to the folks that you'd like to say?
Just it's a great community. I mean, have at it. Vengeance right now is a sandbox that I am not kicking anybody out of. Come play in the sand and see what you think, see what you have to comment on. Uh, I think it's just an absolutely amazing time in game development, and I love that we can all experience this together. So, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. As you put it to me in a comment the other day, there's a 2-year-old inside me, and what was the comment? And you refuse to let them grow up or something like that.
Yeah,
We just love all this stuff that's happening in this world, and we just get so giddy over it. Um, it's just not funny.
yeah, no,
Grown men and
definitely, and
grown women just getting crazy over stuff like this. I love it.
I do as well. So
Alrighty, so what we're going to do here is we're going to get ready to sign off. We're going to bring this interview to a close and get ready to go join the Fire Lotus release party. I do not have a location on that, but I'm sure I'll be able to get my hands on that information here shortly.
it's interesting. I actually see her in Vengeance Right, but I didn't hear about this. So
That
wonder
will
if
not.
she's planning on trying to run it in Vengeance.
That would not surprise me. That's the things we do around here. Alrighty.
Yeah,
What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and sign off. If you just sit with me for a minute and chat off to the side for just a second, I'd appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and sign out on this stream. This is Laz saying thanks for tuning in to our interview here with Duke Violation. Duke, if you would like to say goodbye to the folks.
farewell, avatars.
Alrighty, you stay tuned to NBNN for upcoming events and information and the latest news here in Shrouded Avatar. This is Laz. We'll see you soon.